Okay, good morning, welcome back to Upload TV. Thanks for joining the average golfer at 4 Golf Chester. Product testing, Callaway morning. Just did the Apex MBs, which are absolutely, I've used the word far too many times. I'm not going to say stunning, I'm going to use stunning to look at. But we're on to these, X Forged. And to be fair, these aren't a bad looking thing either. They've got the kind of a matte chrome finish. They've got a cavity back to them. They're bigger in their size. Callaway suggests there may be a little bit more forgiveness in there for the average golfer. It's certainly still going to be aimed at lower handicaps, I would suggest. But like I said, looks, it certainly is a bit more confidence inspiring than the Apex MBs. So I'm going to really be interested to know whether or not I can handle this kind of club. It's a forged head. Like I said, very, very nice looking indeed. Back down to traditional lofts again. I'm going to be hitting with a 6-iron. Once again, I'll be looking to get around the 170 mark. These are going to be performance that I'd be expecting to match up to my current MP5. So around a 170 carry. I'm expecting great feel again out of these. I've had these out on the course already. Hopefully you've watched that video. If not, click on the link below and watch that one. They felt superb out there on the course. I'm now interested to see performance-wise, dry ball data, what they achieve in numbers, control, spin, and we'll find out by moving the camera and getting some golf balls. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so here we are ready to go with this X Forged club, and straight away I've just done the Apex MB, so it's hard for me not to draw parallels. That is a very compact and small blade type. This is the sort of bigger brother in terms of size. It's still a forged club head, but straight away you get that sort of overall visibility as it's a bigger club. There's the thicker top line, and for players of kind of the average golfers and the better than average golfers, I would think, who are still going to perhaps look at this type or consider this type of club, it gives you that little bit more confidence than it does sit in the Apex MBs behind the ball. And it really, to be honest with you, the likes of the 6-iron, which again I'm testing here now, from 6-iron up to the wedge, personally it doesn't bother me too much, the small compact design of the Apex MBs. But I've also got the 4-iron with me, and again have a look at the on-course testing, because I did use 4-iron and wedge on the on-course testing. That's when it really starts to get noticeable, and I just think there's no way at all I could consider gaming sort of 4 and 5 irons in the Apex MBs. But anyway, enough of them. Onto the X Forged, and let's see how these feel. So I'm expecting, I wouldn't expect anything different in terms of the numbers. These are very much down to, again, traditional lofts again. So don't forget this is a 6-iron, so I'm not looking for around the 170 mark. Sits really nice behind the ball, minimal offset, but again, just a little bit chunkier and a bit more confidence, inspiring behind the ball. It's very much, I think, again, going back to the Apex MBs, and I keep drawing the parallels, it's very much what you see is what you get here. They're a no-nonsense club. There's no bells and whistles, and even less so in the MB, but a bit of a cavity. It's a forged club, and it's exactly what you'd expect to get. I think the only way, and I'm going to hit the 4 more balls and see how this sort of feels over the 5 shots, but straight away it's a soft, buttery feel. You get the impression from the testing I've done off camera and on the course, this one is offering up that little bit more assistance or forgiveness, if you like. So again, I think it appeals to a wider audience, and maybe somebody like myself. I mean, again, I've sort of stopped disappearing and looking at numbers in between shots, because I like to sort of register in the brain what I think that is going on with the club head first, and I would think again the numbers are very, very similar in terms of what I've just achieved there in the first couple of shots, and that's what I'm expecting from the next 3. I think you're going to get very, very consistent numbers in terms of dispersion. Spin number, we'll wait and see. My spin's never great, but anyway, a few more shots with this one, and then we'll have a closer look at the numbers and do a bit of a summary.
Okay, so that's balls hit with the X Forged, and very much as I explained in the intro, no nonsense club yet again. It's got a satin finish to it, and again, this is very much, I never mention this because it's very much a personal opinion, but I like the shininess of the Apex MB. So between the two clubs, and I know this isn't again a head-to-head, but because they've been launched together, I wasn't as fond of this sort of, I think it's a satin finish to describe it as much as I was the Apex MBs. But what they do is give you a lot more confidence in terms of the size and the bulk behind the ball. But let's get straight stuck into numbers. Here they come now. And once again, the word consistency is something that I would describe about both irons, and it again rings true with this X Forged. 83 club head, ball speed 114. Again, very, very similar. Average, very consistent spin number, once again 5,000 with a 6 iron is a good number for me. I can't keep repeating this message, but I always say, just for new viewers that come along who don't know, I don't achieve great spin numbers, so yeah, 5,000 spin is where I'd be more than happy. I struck the ball again reasonably well this morning. It was interesting, the first ball out I got a little bit the ball flight was particularly low, but it didn't affect the overall carry distance and also the stopping distance, looking at that. So just go first of all to the carry distance, 166, and again the dispersion between good and bad, 164 to 170. A matter of yards between each ball, which will be based on, again, the quality of my strike. This is very much again like the Apex MB. I think if you're considering players' irons, then right now, I would suggest that you hang fire till January, because in the players' irons category, both of these clubs are real contenders for you to consider purchasing. It'll become down to personal preference. You've got the likes of the MP18s, the Titleist MBs, the 730s from TaylorMade, and now you've got these two options from Callaway. All of those clubs are very good performance, but these are right there, up there with it. And in terms of feel, they're superb. I felt from I suppose I should stick to the summary of the X Forged, it does definitely offer a little bit more forgiveness. It was a yard or two on average longer, and I think that's all it is. You're not talking about distance, you're talking about control, feel, consistency, and the X Forge offers all of that. It's then about the personal preference in terms of what you like, in terms of looks and sat behind the ball. But yeah, it's an absolute, they're really good clubs. I don't like always being so positive about clubs, because I like to try and obviously analyse them from the perspective of the average golfer, and to do that, the only criticism I can make is that it's not a criticism, it's not going to appeal to a wide audience, and that is no criticism whatsoever, I don't suppose. But in that category, these are top quality irons, so there are no criticisms. It's that simple. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review. I enjoyed it, and I've got to say, and once again I mentioned it in the on-course video, thanks for Callaway for including this on this early launch in terms of testing. We really do appreciate it, and it's great to see it get it out there for the average golfers early. Anyway, like I said, thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you liked it, comments down below, and as ever I'll do my best to reply, but if not, I'll see you very soon on Upload TV.